Hey there, welcome to Manhood Explained. My name is Camille. Today is 17th of May 2022. Welcome to video number 319. Today, as you can see, I'm not in my normal spot, but we're having some time being in our friends or family house. And I thought to myself, I've got my phone, so let me record something because it'll connect a little bit to what we're doing here. Because we're having here more or less some few days off and just spending time together somewhere else. And this is exactly what I want to talk about. How it's possible that the day off that you have been waiting for so long, or the holidays that you've been playing for so long, even though they're supposed to be something so enjoyable, they end up being complete disaster. You see, one of the things that probably is obvious that we will have different expectation of things. One of the things that's going to be different is how we want to spend our day off or holidays or time off. We'll probably completely differently want to approach how we rest or how we recharge. But the whole idea is not only to understand it, but kind of be wise about it. So first of all, right there on the spot, I would say, if you know that the weekend is coming, or even more holidays that you're playing for so long, talk about it. How do you want to spend it before you're going to get there? Because the moment you're going to get there and you end up understanding that you've got completely opposite idea of how you want to spend time, the argument and complete dismantling of this whole time is right there waiting for you. The disaster is right there. So first of all, understand that you might have or probably will have different ideas how you want to spend time. Talk about it before. Just give yourself this gift of not destroying or not making this time a miserable one. But a second thing that it's kind of obvious if you listen to at least one or two of my videos. I really like to go deep to understand what lays behind this whole thing because it changes the perspective to I don't know, unprecedented degree. If you kind of dig a little bit deeper to understand what does it really mean, because you see, there's always a reason why we think how we think and what we want and how we want to get there. See, there's a reason how you want to spend time. Simple ones being, if I'm from big city, my way of how I normally spend time off will be different from maybe my wife who's from a small town or the other way around. So, maybe my idea of spending time would be to go to a museum or spend some time in a bar with my friends, and maybe hers would be to spend time in nature. So see, that's why I want you to look at it this way. There's always something that will make the things differ. How I expect spending free time on how she does. And but maybe you not only learn something from your past, like understand what was my experience of spending time because of where I've been born or raised in or raised at, but maybe you're going to learn something about your present. Maybe she always wanted to spend time outside and doing something actively, but maybe she'll tell you because she spent so much time working remotely right now, she would love to spend time sitting in her armchair and reading a book. And you would be surprised because you would want to go and do sightseeing. You see, that's why I love to look at it this way, to kind of give yourself permission to dig deeper, to kind of give yourself this gift basically, to just sit down and talk about stuff because it will tell you so much about yourself. And maybe when she will tell you what is her experience right now, how she's tired of working remotely, you'll say, I agree. I've seen her working last weeks, and I completely understand why she wants to sit down in silence, alone, with no people. And maybe you'll be even be able to give her some good ideas because maybe you observing her and how she was tired, Maybe knowing her enough, you'll be able to say, listen, let us spend this weekend, together, just doing nothing. I don't know, maybe Netflixing or whatever, and let me be even more proactive and bring you tea or take care of you. And maybe your understanding will make you even more resourceful to make this time enjoyable and make this rest really efficient for her, just because you understood where this whole thing is coming from. But even more, one thing is to understand that you have a different idea of how we want to spend time off. Second, it's even better to talk about it and dig deeper to understand where it's all coming from, whether that's going to be your past or your present. But one additional thing, something that kind of makes this whole an explosive subject if we don't deal with it before time, or not having this kind of automatic reaction to when things go bad, to sit down and talk about it, to kind of dismantle problem which is arising right there on the spot by talking about it. You've got to understand that everything that we do because we love each other. And you've got to understand that my or her's idea how she wants to spend time is not something to malevolent. It's not something that she wants to do something completely opposite what you do just because she hates you. And maybe it sounds stupid, but for some reason, it's so easy to make an argument out of this thing. That's why I want to push you to think, listen, she loves you. There's nothing malevolent in it. But I want you to go even deeper in this and understand that in the root of everything that we experience, we want to experience things with our loved ones, and we want them to be a part of our world. This is something, that idea that I kind of discovered, I don't know how many months ago, which kind of changed the way I look at things, especially in a relationship. Because you see, I've got my hobbies, I've got my passions, and my wife got hers too. And they're completely different things. And I really enjoy doing the things that I love, but there's no comparison in how enjoyable they are if I do it by myself or she is part of it. She doesn't have to understand it. She doesn't have to be a proficient in it. I just want her to understand what I'm talking about. And I want her to understand, so when I'm talking about it, she'll understand to at least basic degree. But I want her to understand it so we could build our own experience based on it. And so we could build like an inside jokes or something. Then whenever I talk about things that I'm passionate about, even though it's not something that she is keen on, I know that she understands that I can enjoy these things with her. And the same thing happens when we plan our time off or holidays. The things that I want to experience and how I want to experience them, I want her to be a part of this idea how I want to experience it, and I want her to be a part of it. So maybe if we have completely two different ideas, because I know I love reading books and she loves, riding a bike. I want to talk about it, understand it, and what is the reason and all these things that we talked before. But at the end of the day, I want her to understand that she will be able even to say, because of how he was raised, because of whatever, he likes to sit and read books. So what we're gonna do, half of the day maybe we're gonna sit down and he's gonna read his book. I'm gonna do things that I'm passionate about. We're gonna be just sitting there in silence, just together, and then maybe we're gonna talk about what he read and what I've discovered, doing my own research or whatever I did during that time. But the second part of the day, we're gonna switch. And then we're gonna go riding a bike and she's gonna tell me what she experienced, why she's loving this. And we will be able to experience and spend this time consciously in both ways, how I love things and how she does. And if you understand that everything happens because we love each other, and we allow this whole thing to be meaningful, and it happens because we kind of consciously created or kind of make this thing happen exactly like this, because we know what our expectations are and why, then the whole experience changes because everyone is happy. And I'll give you a little tip. If you're in a relationship, if you get to the point that you understand your spouse to such a degree that you can start enjoying the things, maybe even falling in love with doing things that you never would thought doing, but you're going to do them just because it makes her happy and it's going to come back to you as well, you'll be in heaven. You'll start experiencing your relationship in a level that you would be surprised that you would never thought it's possible to experience it. Let me give an example. Many men hates doing shopping. But once I kind of start looking at it differently, because once my wife asked me, can you go and help me pick things that you like me to be in? I want you to help me to buy clothes that you will see me, beautiful or sexy in. And when we added to all of this, going to my favorite restaurant or going for I don't know, some dessert, whatever, doing something additionally, something that I do like, this whole trip is not just going shopping. This whole thing becoming an experience. One of part of it is doing shopping, but it's all our own thing, our own journey, our own experience, our own kind of I know this kind of fun thing that we do together. And we plan together, we do it together, and then we experience it together, and it builds our kind of memories of the things that we done consciously. And the moment I get to love this whole thing to the point that I'm able to tell her, listen, do you want to go shopping? It was so awesome last time. Maybe we're going to do it again. Her eyes are starting to shine just because I learned how to change something that for most of us is completely terrible idea to something that I'm enjoying because it's our experience. It's our thing. So see, this is what I want you to take from this video. You can completely dismantle, you can completely butcher the time that you have, the time off or holidays or something, if you just let it happen and then be completely miserable because it didn't happen as you wanted it to. So you see, that's why I want you to understand that it will differ, probably in most of the cases. Second, I want you to understand why. What is the past? What is the reason from the past? What is the reason from present? But three, understand that you want to love each other, and in the core of things, you just want to help, and you want the other person, your wife, probably in this case, when I'm talking to you guys, I want you to learn how to help your wife become part of your own world and enjoy it, so it become your thing, both of you, not just yours. And if you learn how to fall in love or how really enjoy things that she likes doing as well, just because you tweaked it enough so it's fascinating for you too, you'll never recognize how your relationship might change and how those holidays or days off might be completely different and kind of go beyond your expectations just because you were smart how you approach it. So think about it and do something about it, because your happiness is in your conscious decision how you make it happen. Listen, if you like this video, like, share, comment. If you didn't, comment as well. Tell me what you think and what is your experience. And if there's anything you want me to talk about, just give me a shout. I'll be glad to talk about it for you. And that being said, see you in the next video.